Good morning, y'all. It's Timidity. Even though my eyes are swollen, believe it or not, I am the happiest I've been in ages, and I hope you truly believe me when I say that. If you're like, why does your face look like that? I don't know. I went to sleep at like 12:30 on accident. Woke up at 8 somehow. My body just forced me up for whatever reason. Now I'm up. Even though for whatever reason it forced me up at 8 a.m. As amusing as it is, I still have resisted that bitch because it is fucking 10 a.m. and I haven't moved a single goddamn muscle. But it is funny because you can see that specifically a light from my window is shining like a magnifying glass, as if it's trying to force me to get up for whatever fucking reason. But then again, I did literally say a few days ago, hey God, if you can remove the obstacles in my life and actually give me like a solid night of sleep and a day where I can just rest and have fun, I will get up early the next day and be as productive as possible. I swear to you about it. And then lo and behold, I had a wonderful day yesterday. Like, I got to wear a cute outfit, had the sun shining on my skin, got to get delicious food with a friend. Had some pretty good sex. Got to get some jewelry, like even got some nice noise canceling headphones so I can actually make music and stuff. Like, life's been going, and I actually was like, I was drawing. I haven't drawn in a while. I won't show you the drawing I'm making because you'll be like, to me, that's line art. We don't want to see line art. We want to see finished products. I'll show you finished products later, okay? And I was on the verge of tears because the music I was listening to was so damn good on my noise canceling headphones, and I was like, this is a beautiful day. I am so happy. Every moment of today has been wonderful. And then lo and behold, it's 8 a.m. And then I wake up to like the hot ass sun burning through my window like I'm an ant under a magnifying glass of a 3-year old. And I don't know, it kind of got me thinking, like, I also saw a post online a second ago, and maybe this is tasteless to mention, but someone, I believe the name was Vasan, there's some sort of journalist that had spent most of their life, like, they were a college kid with goals, but then over the course of their life, shit in Gaza got worse. They went over there to report and document it, and that's when things got even worse with the genocide going on over there. Free Palestine, fuck Israel, is what I'm gonna say. Like, no offense. And I know you're like, to me, what do you mean, no offense? That means I don't want any fucking weird secret agent people to be like, cool, we're gonna kick down your door and plant drugs in your house or whatever weird shit. I don't know. The world's getting to be a scary fucking place. I guess I'll make a quick tangent before I jump into the true topic of this video, but it's like, I've been checking in on all my homies who have green cards, who, I'm not gonna say the second part, but you can guess. And I've just been checking in to be like, how are you doing? Like, even people who I have been on bad terms with since like fucking last October, I'm hitting up just to be like, hi, how are you doing? And letting them vent to me about what's going on. Like, I have people who are married here and have fucking families and don't go to any fucking protests, who are scared to get fucking medical help in another country because they're worried that when they try to come back, just because they have a tweet from like 2016 that says fuck Trump, or for whatever fucking reason they can think of, they will be like, you cannot re-enter the country. Like, even the most like non-political, like safe white, like fucking immigrant, is kind of scared as fuck right now because it's like, now they have to be like, okay, shit, what's gonna happen to my family? What's gonna happen to my life? And things are tensing up and everything is getting bad. And that shit worries me. Because, I care about people, unlike our fucking politicians. I'll say it like this. Do you ever. But hearing about the guy from Palestine, like, sadly, that was his final message. He made a post about how he was once a college kid with dreams and goals and stuff, but how life changed and things happened, and sadly, he had to lose his life out there because of a fuck. Like, they murdered him just because he was a journalist who cared about the lives of other people, and that's so sad. This may be a little tasteless, and I apologize for bringing it up. I guess it's like, do you ever wonder, like, about what your divine purpose is? Like, that's why sometimes I don't know if I don't know if I truly believe in God. If there is, I don't think that nigga likes me. I'm gonna be honest about that. Sometimes he throws me a bone, but it's like, Jesus, nigga. But then again, like, that's me. That's my personal belief system on God. I don't know. I don't have the best opinion on God because I grew up around the weirdest little Christian people ever. And I was a weird little girl who did not like me and little other Christian girls and Christian boys who would be hypocrites and judge other people and shit on other people and focus on their looks, their wealth, their anger, all that. They would not love their fellow man. They hated their fellow man. I would meet people who were supposedly Bible thumping priests who would go out of their way to try to hug and death grip the autism out of me. And if not that, then they were purring on me in the fucking streets. Good holy men. Even my own mother, like, I'll say this story because I don't give a fuck, she's not around. She told me how she was friends with a pastor, and like a pastor's daughter, and how she noticed that they would order tons and tons of food to feast like kings every night and then throw out a solid 90% of it because they would all eat like birds. They just wanted it there as fucking decoration. Meanwhile, she had a crack-addled mother at home, and I don't know her situation about her dad. She never talks much about it. But simply put, my mom was a struggling young black girl who never was guaranteed food. And these were people who knew that and decided to waste leftovers in front of her and still claim to be like the most giving, loving people of God. My mom did something not so great. She started stealing from those people. I forget what she, I think it was just like silverware and money every once in a while. Because she just thought, they'll never fucking notice. Because fuck it, they're technically stealing from all these fucking hardworking people who go to this fucking church and pray every goddamn Sunday. They're stealing from them. They're begging for money just to use it on bullshit that goes into the trash or like gold on their necks and ears as they walk and turn their nose up at the homeless and the poor and all that and turn a blind fucking eye. So my mom never really liked the church after that. And I respect that she just was one of those people that was like, if anyone asks, tell them you believe in God. And I've met people who are like, why would you have to do that? Because she knows that Christian people, especially black Christians and hoteps, can get really fucking weird if you do not believe in God. That's like saying you're, like, for the same reason that you can't go around telling everyone you're gay, or the same reason that you have to sometimes not fill out those anonymous surveys for jobs where they just so happen to want you to self identify because they want to know if they can discriminate against you or not. Like, but people, they don't want to hear me, but that's the fucking truth. And so, yeah, my mom started stealing from that church because she figured they were stealing from people anyway. And anyway, they were. The money wasn't used to help anybody, it was just used to, like, fuel their own fucking greed. Now, plenty of people across many, like, it's so funny. People will disagree with the church and also disagree with what my mother did. That's totally, well, I don't know how I feel about that. Admittedly, like, I'm not gonna say that's valid. I understand why one would feel that way, but for the most part, I agree with my mother. But then again, I have certain tendencies that are not healthy of my own, so, I'm not saying I'm my mother's daughter. Fuck no. I fully canceled that shit out, like, years ago. But I see why she did what she did. Because it's like, hey, if she didn't, how else was she gonna feed herself? Sometimes you have to do things that others might not understand. But I don't know, like I have a complex dynamic on if I believe God exists. I do other forms of spiritual practices, and I believe in other gods that aren't like fucking the ones shoved down people's throats for thousands and thousands of years. Like now that we are in a time and place where it's like, cool, you don't believe in God, that's all right, but you don't need to be killed for it. That would be ideal. We live in a time and a place where you can fully be like, I don't believe in God and I am an atheist, and you will not be killed for that. That's really nice. That wasn't a luxury provided to people before, and you never know. And no offense, the country is definitely getting kind of scary with it again. I'm just saying. But I guess I'm thinking this. Uh, I don't know. Do you? Sometimes I worry about if there is a higher power or reason for certain things. Because I don't really like it, you know? Because it makes me question things. Like, I've made this video before. I didn't make a two-parter, sadly, but I did make a first-parter, and I've talked about it before. Like, do you ever experience certain omens, and you're just like, why is this happening? What's the reason for it? Like, it could be big things, it could be small things. Like, for example, I already talked about how in the past I was really downtrodden during the winter, like horrendously so. And I was on good terms with my ex boyfriend Liam, but despite our lovey dovey bullshit we'd been doing for a few months, he basically told me that he didn't get me a gift for Christmas. And we already didn't have plans to meet either, so it's like, oh, just gonna spend Christmas fucking alone. Meanwhile, this whole month I've been scavenging for his gift and trying to be thoughtful. Wow. Okay. So, you want to know what I did? I said, fuck that shit. I specifically did a ritual and prayed and did all sorts of stuff. And I basically commanded, I said, any higher power out there, send me someone you think I need. Send me like the most sexy, strongest, healthiest, like, make him look like this, make him act like this, make him that, and send him to me. And I did the ritual, and then lo and behold, by the next fucking morning, guess what I got? I met Mitchell. Mitchell was everything I wanted in a man. And I am glad that I met him to an extent, because it's like, okay, it kind of showed me everything I want in a lover and a husband, and how I don't want anything less than someone who is dedicated, thoughtful, borderline obsessed with me, but like healthy about it. Like as healthily obsessed as they can be. Like, they think of me as the apple of their eye and the light of their life to an extent, but I'm not the only light. But boy oh boy do I happen to shine in a way that they just so happen to love. A man who has a life that is full of fucking diamonds, and I am his special moissanite, basically. It sparkles a little different, and he likes that, and he wants me in it. And I would love that. And he showed me a very intense love that I don't know if I've ever been shown by someone else. Or at the very least, he's really outdone almost. Like, do you know how impressive you have to be as a man to just show up and outdo every other fucking man I've ever dated? Which is actually pretty hard, because mind you, I've had Lake Tahoe as a first date. I've been giving, like, beautiful, like, diamond, opal, and ruby necklaces and, like, bracelets and shit before even, like, the first and second date. I always take really good care of myself, and I'm really happy to be alive. So I didn't mean to say that part off camera. But ignore that. I was talking to myself. I was distracted for a second. Anyway, what I was actually saying is that, like, I was happy to meet Mitchell, but at the same time, meeting him kind of caused, like, a fucked up catalyst in my life. Was it a necessary one? I don't know, because after I met Mitchell, it made it so much easier to hate men. And I think one of my issues in my life is that I actually have given too much grace to men. I used to not give grace to anybody, and I regret ever doing so. But, like, how do I put this? When I was a child, I was completely happy being entirely by myself, because I thought that, like, simply put, I was a kid who went through a very, very rough puberty, and people don't believe that. It's like I had a forehead full of acne, several missing teeth, chapped lips, ashy-ish skin, fucked up hair, but I mean, whatever. And a few other things. Like, I wore the same hoodie every day, and, like, flooding jeans because my mom was an idiot, and, like, the same sneakers every day. And, didn't quite like to shower every day. Embarrassingly enough, but, hmm. Simply put, like, I got to experience first, like, even when I did shower every day, the world was not a very nice place. And I got to learn, like, okay, the best thing I can do is be by myself, because I'm fine with how I am as a person, and I love myself. And the world is a very fucked up place, and I don't need to get in the midst of it. But then one thing led to another, and I met people who liked me even at that stage, and then I got pretty, and then I had more people who liked me, and then it was like I was the motherfucking Mary Sue. I was just like the most OP fucking gorgeous girl around, and I got popular in school very fast, and I was seen as super beautiful, super interesting, mysterious, fascinating, all this shit. But, and then right as I was like, oh boy, maybe humanity isn't so bad, or at the very least, I think I can get through it, bullshit happened from trusting men. And then let's just say after a decade of putting myself in situations where I saw men who were either fucked up little gremlins who were still, in my eyes, worthy of love and growth and change as a person, just to realize that no, they were fully fine being smegma dick assholes who were very, very vicious and harmful to women. And then aside from that, even when I went, oh, okay, I'm going to date specific sweetie patooties who treat me nicely, and I'm going to assume that he likes me because he's telling me he likes me, and he's relatively showing me he likes me, and he's texting me all the time and hyping up these plans with me, so surely he likes me, right? Wrong! You're about to experience the most traumatic shit ever at the hands of a love bomber who's fucking psychotic. And then, even then, I still was like, you know what? I'm still going to keep trying for love. Keep trying for love. I'm going to trust that people out there can communicate and be healthy and smart in the way that I am. And, these people say that they feel so safe around me. Why would they? Like, no one would keep a secret from me. And then everyone keeps secrets from me because they're like, ah, she's so lovable. She will never love a disgusting bastard like me. Even if I look niggas in the face and say, I love you, they will be like, yeah, she's fucking lying. She's pacifying me. I need to hurt her or push her away or do something. Or they'll just, like, I'll be thoughtful to a man, they won't be thoughtful to me. And let's just say after a whole fucking decade, like, simply put, very recently after the Mitchell situation, because I cried over that nigga for 2 months, I was like, okay, I already wasted 2 months of this year crying over this nigga. I don't want that. I am overseeing men as people in general. I'm just going to be the most gold digging S whore. Like, I'm just going to be a gold digger. And I am fully dedicated to being a misandrist because I don't like men anymore. And maybe that's what needed to happen to an extent. Because I really truly did like Mitchell, and it makes me sad, and I'm trying not to cry as I say this, but it's true. I was happy to meet that man, but it doesn't change the fact that it's like, hey, remember on the first night when you were really drunk and he tried to take advantage of you sexually and he put his tongue on your body and was going to fuck you despite you being like hardy, like, Jesus, some points I couldn't even fucking move. He knew that. He was pinning me down. It's like, wow, he, even this, and then several moments of him gaslighting and being an asshole. Simply put, this nigga sucks. And do you know how fucked up it is to pray to the gods for a perfect man and then getting him, but then also with a dash of, hey, he will try to rape you at some point? He still gaslights. He still does all the things that men are known to do because men have weird egos and communication skills and only think about themselves and never other people. It's like, oh, wow, I can't believe I literally, like, how do I put this? Imagine you pray for the perfect cake, but just like every other cake, there's still a needle in it. Eventually, you'd stop liking cakes. So I stopped liking men. But simply put, that Mitchell shit had me so fucked up that I was either, well, I was gonna kill myself, or God knows what I was gonna do to him. Or I basically was like, I'm gonna blow up his fucking life, and I know exactly how I'm gonna do so. And I was like, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? But my body kept telling me, no, 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 something might happen with him later down the line. You need to wait, you need to wait. And I have no idea why. But regardless, I waited, and then just so happens that I then met my friend Hey, my online friend. They hit me up. They were like, "Oh, hey, you! I recognize you." And we started talking, and one thing led to another, and then I had a fling with Hey that was really good. That it, and then we fucked really good. That it made me forget how to pronounce Mitchell's name. It made me forget Mitchell's name entirely. I was like, because simply put, it's like I thought Mitchell was amazing, but then I thought, never mind, fuck that little sunburnt, little blue eyed, blonde hair, Aryan looking bitch with the little fucked up rib cage and his weird ass non working dick and his rapey tendencies and his gaslighting. Fuck that nigga. Also, sorry for saying Aryan, but it's like, again, that's the only. He looks like it. What can I say? He, like, hell, like, he was creepy about it, but whatever. Let's talk about it later. He was not a member of the Aryan race. That's just like a fucked up nickname I have for people who are tall, white, blonde, blue eyes, all that shit. Creepy. It's like, oh, your parents knew what they were doing. I don't. That's fucked up to say, but that's my thoughts. You don't have to agree with it, but moving on. My new nigga was a cute ass Jewish guy with like fucking big old beautiful Bambi eyes, big brown chocolate, ooh, espresso martini, caramel brownie colored eyes, and a nice sexy thick beard like a fucking sultan. And he had something else about him. Oh, amazing tattoos all over his body, like the alt look. He was he ate pussy so good it felt like he had three fucking tongues. Oh, he was magnificent. And he was like the perfect body type I like. I like when men are like muscular but still a little chubby. That's because it's like they're the best huggers. They're the best at everything. They're the best. Like if I ever am not simping for a skinny twink, it's because I'm going for someone built like a brick shit house, baby. I like my niggas strong and plushy. Bones are nice at times. I like a skinny nigga. They're cute. I love their cute little slutty waistlines and their nice giving hips. But guess what? Sometimes I like more cushion for the pushing. I like some little jiggle and wiggle. It's soft. Oh, I love it. It's good. And then I got over Mitchell super fast because simply put, hey came out the gate like, hey, I'll buy you this like really expensive, gorgeous necklace. In fact, 1 second. Sure, you could have a nigga who could give you this, and you could obsess over, oh my god, I had this, or you could have something like this, something gorgeous and extravagant. Hay was a sweet man who was like, I like Timothy and I know what she likes as a person, so I'm gonna get her this. And if you're like, to me, that's a weak ass necklace. How do I put this? It looks a lot better in the sunlight. It's actually like, how do I put this? If you saw it in person, you'd be like, holy fucking shit. And that's how I felt when I saw that. As well as he got me this necklace and this necklace. Like, both are extremely goddamn gorgeous. Holy shit. Like, I really wish you could see it, but what can I say? Oh, my phone doesn't want to capture the bad bitch elements, but seriously, it's so fucking amazing. It's my favorite necklace. I put it on just to have fun around my house. Because even as an adult, it's like how do I put this? As an adult, I'm relearning things that I already knew when I was a mid schooler. Fuck boys, and fuck other people. So stay in the house and just have fun doing what you like. I really tried with Hay. I tried to be friends with him. I tried to be on good terms with him. Did that work out? Fuck no, because he's a disrespectful piece of shit. But you know what? It's okay because he got to see the very next day he got replaced by my lovely new German boyfriend. And I know you're like, Tamia, German after Jewish? I didn't mean for that to happen. It just I didn't know he was German until like it was the funniest jump scare ever. Like it's not a scary accent whatsoever. Well, okay, it was at first, but that's because he's got a deep ass voice. But when I got in that nigga's car, it's like, oh shit, I didn't know he had a Tesla. Oh shit, and he's German, and he's kind of Aryan looking. I'm kind of scared, but no, he actually is extremely anti-fascist. Amen. And he got me this bracelet, bling, bling, and some other jewelry and stuff. Oh yeah, he got me this. He got me this nice, beautiful, expensive ass gemstone. I love that men love me so much. So, and also, see, I'll put it this way: if you're a woman and you're watching this, and you're like, I don't know how to ask men for shit. Look at me. Look at everything about me. Like I'm a lovely person, but I'm still kind of. It's like look at me, and then look at the stuff I got because I asked for it. Beautiful, beautiful, expensive, gorgeous things. I'm just saying, you could have it too. All you have to do is stop being afraid of men because they're never afraid to ask you for some pussy or to go out for coffee or like somebody put if you or like to ask you for to come to their house instead of go to a bar or whatever the fuck. Somebody put ask what you want. Otherwise you might not get it. I'm learning that lesson after a long time and I guess that's kind of like I don't know. God, this is gorgeous. Like I didn't like it at first, but it's actually like you know what? It actually does sparkle very nicely. I guess something. Do you mind? Cops? I suppose something that I've been thinking about, because it's like, it is funny how after Hey, like, I did kind of pray. I was like, I really want to just meet someone who has money and can be like a good fuck buddy for me. Because it's like, I'm sad that I don't get any sex from Mitchell anymore, but I'm also sad because I really wanted friendship. And then that's when Hey came, you know, because I guess like some higher power was like, okay, Tamia's gonna kill herself. Boom, send in the beautiful big brown eyed man who's extremely sweet to her that she trusts. But then it's like, hey, she's getting a little too comfortable, and this nigga needs to grow as a person. Plus, like he's not that spending, and she needs a lot more. I know what to do, and then I communicated healthily. Hey didn't, and I thought to myself, why the fuck is he communicating so poorly? But maybe it needed to happen, because I'll put it this way: if Hay didn't communicate with me poorly, because I basically was telling him, hey, listen, since you're moving and I think I'm about to start my period and my premenstrual dysphoric disorder can get really intense, how about this? How about we take like a few weeks apart? Like, how about we just give some space and like end this for now? Because I don't want to stress you out and like I think I'm looking for like a higher contact friendship at this point and I know you're busy plus I know that you're like moving and have bigger things to focus on plus I know we won't be able to have sex for a few weeks until you get settled so maybe we should like take a pause on this and hey I guess showed his true colors and he just kind of lashed out and said some like condescending ass yeah I don't want someone who's gonna bother me all the time and say I'm doing all the wrong things anyway and that had me fucked up and then you want to know what happened at midnight, I was saying, fuck hey. By morning time, I was going, oh hey, nice friendly German dude in my DMs, and one thing led to another. And then I met German dude who gave me this nice, beautiful, amazingly gorgeous gemstone. I love it so much. And then on top of that, we decided to he gave me money to get a pedicure. He gave me money just to like go shopping on myself. Yeah, that's how I got the gold bracelet. Amen. And then he also, oh yeah, and then he gave me $1,000 because he was like, I want to date you for a month. And so yeah, that's great. So technically, if Hay didn't fuck up, I wouldn't have $1,000 if you think about it. And then things with the German dude have had their ups and downs, but it's still kind of helpful because it's like, okay, now I have money where I can get my hair done. But the only reason I don't have my hair done right now is because Oakland braiders be fucking tripping. Oh my god. The braiders in my area fucking suck. And so do the ones in Berkeley and San Jose and SF and anywhere you can think of. They fucking suck. That shit tires me out. But simply put, like I don't know, sometimes I think things need to happen for some sort of like divine reasoning. I don't fully get what the divine reasoning is though, but you know what? I'll put it this way. Because me and German dude have our little arrangement, I was able to get myself damn, I lost them already. Some really nice, expensive noise canceling headphones, and the music quality was so good on them that I cried and instantly felt motivated to like work on screenplays and make scripts and design characters and do more. And yesterday was an amazing, blessed day. I am very grateful for how good of a day and how good my life has been going. and I still have time and money to get my life together, to get my hair done. I'm still gonna apply to jobs in the process because, niggas come and go anytime. And, like, you never really know. You can't rely on them for stability. But, and, all sorts of things. I don't know. Do you ever just think about shit like that? Because I do. Like, I don't know. Like, I still don't get why 2024 was so terrible for me, but I guess I just had to learn the lesson of, hey, stop trusting that one friend who showed you that they're untrustable. We get it. Like, you're alone all the time, but still, like, settle for, like, good company with yourself at home and not leaving your house for anything unbearable or settling for the worst, because then your life's just gonna be the worst. Like, and hey, stop talking to that other girl because she's weird and instigative. Stop trying to, like, hype up this one friend because he will never change his ways, and this other friend you like keeps fucking hating on you. And I don't know, I think some necessary things just needed to happen. I needed to cut off certain people who were selfish. I needed to end, like, I don't know, think about that. But I guess that kind of, I don't know, whenever I think about this too hard, it makes me have an existential crisis. Like, if there truly was some higher power out there that wanted to teach me lessons, then why did they make me lonely in the first place? What was the, like, if they wanted me to have a nice, healthy life, then, okay, why did they make me feel lonely? Why did they make me feel stressed and burnt out and miserable? Why did I have to wake up some mornings with random back pains or head fog or illnesses whenever I wanted to get my life together? Like, why did I have to stay? Like, why can I never get my room clean? Why this? Why that? Because I don't know. Like, I try not to think about it too much, but it does make me pissed. Like, imagine if you were made and then you had, like, some sort of, like, I don't know, imagine it's like, oh, every day I try my best to, like, eat my vegetables and take walks and enjoy the sunshine and all that. Da 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 da. But I'm still sad and depressed. And then there's just some higher power who was like, yeah, we should just give this person, like, depression for some reason. And then it's like, I don't know, what's the point of your life? Why do you have depression? Why did he go, we need to make an extremely depressed individual? What's your point? Is it just to teach other people about how depression works? Or are you fated to kill yourself? Do you live a life of pain just to have a life that ends terribly? Like, what's the fucking point? I don't know, man. All I'll know is like, I'll talk about this because it's relevant. With Mitchell, I remember I specifically prayed to, like, some Indian gods because, like, I don't know, they're cool as fuck, and I respect them and what they go for. So I was like, okay, Goddess Lakshmi and all the other higher powers out there and all that shit. Let's get me a man. And I woke up, and that's how I found Mitchell, and we were really wonderful in the short time together. Aside from the obvious rape attempt and his gaslighting and love bombing, we were actually really nice together. I would have really enjoyed some sort of friendship with him, but I don't know. He's got issues. But I do remember specifically at some point, it was Christmas morning. We got out the shower together. He got dressed and he was like, holy shit, look out the window. And we looked out the window and there it was. Like, it was weird as fuck. Like 8 a.m. on fucking Christmas morning. Cold as fuck weather. Foggy as hell. Like, in the part of the city we were in, should not. Like, there was a parrot. An extremely gorgeous tropical parrot. And what was trippy about the parrot is that it came specifically to our windowsill and tapped on our window and sang to us and chirped a song, and it was beautiful. And the even trippier thing is that the, like, how do I put this? Parrots, especially in Indian cultures, can be signs of, like, good luck, new love, and prosperity coming your way. And so that's like, oh, I prayed to an Indian god and now I got a little messenger at my door like, yeah, girl, get it, bitch. I got you a tall white man. And it's like, okay, you know what? Her, okay. Like, okay, I accept the new beginnings and prosperity in the form of this fucking 6'5", 7.5 inches man. Ooh, his dick was long. It's a shame it didn't work. But at the same time, maybe it's good it didn't work. He would have tried to rape me. I don't know. But I will say this. And I don't know. That was like an omen where I thought it would have worked. I thought things would have gone well between us because of that. Did it? No. It hurt like hell. Everything about that hurt like hell. I was already doing terribly before, but it just lifted 2 months straight of like endless alcohol and Mountain Dew. Like my body is still suffering the consequences of that, by the way, because you can't drink 2 liters of Mountain Dew and a bunch of Red Bull and a bunch of Snoop Dogg wine, uh, fucking back to back to back to back in placement of food. It does weird things to your body. And my body's already pretty good at doing weird things without that, so you can imagine how much worse it got with it. Haha. No, no, man. I guess it's just like, what was the point of meeting Mitchell? Why couldn't it have just been like, oh, Tamia is extremely depressed and suicidal. We should just they didn't need to send me Mitchell. They could have just said like, we're gonna give Tamia like a sudden windfall of money, so that she can use it to get her life together. But then again, so far with the windfall of money I've gotten recently, all I've done is buy a bunch of expensive gemstones. Haven't even got my hair done. So it's like, eh. Well, I got some headphones finally, but it's like still, it's like, eh. I could be kicking this shit into overdrive. We all know that. But I guess, sorry, I'm just thinking about it, okay? I'm just saying, it's like my life could have been improved in a million different ways. They didn't have to send me a white guy. You know, they could have, like, I know I prayed for one, like, I prayed for, like, a hot, rich man who was sexy and treated me like a queen. And I got one, mostly. But it's like, they could have just been like, we are going to grant Tamia with amazing mental health. We're going to grant Tamia with, like, not being depressed for, like, a whole week straight. That probably would have changed a lot of things. And or like and also we're going to give her like motivation and ambition to do her things with follow through, and instead they were like, just send in the white boy. And then they sent me the sexy, slightly pretty evil but still surprisingly wholesome white boy. And now I know, it's like, okay, I know what I want out of a husband, I know what I hate in a man and what I hate in most men. And then I met Hay and I was like, oh yippee, maybe all men aren't bad and the world is sunshiny. And then Hay disappointed me. And then I met German dude, and German dude disappointed me, but we're still talking. And overall, it's just like, what's it all for? What's the point? What's the end goal? Is it like, I don't fully get it. But I don't know. Maybe if I want to be an optimist, I could say, oh, well, I know my end goal is that I want to be a screenwriter and I want to be a writer and I want to make films that really speak to people and serious passion projects. But if there is a higher power, I'll put it like this. I have an amazing script I'm working on surrounding drug psychosis and rape. Now, the drug psychosis thing I went through was so fucking terrible. I ate edibles a few years back with my ex-boyfriend Liam, and it was so bad that it felt like I was really trapped in some sort of matrix for 30 fucking years, just suffering by the end of it. It was terrible. I fully didn't know how to cope and return to reality after it. My phone has been plugged in, but it hasn't been charging. Wow. Anyway, but I truly had the worst time. And I try to tell people, it's like, that shit is no joke. But I've met people where I will tell them about the edible psychosis shit. And then I've had people stare me in the face and be like, weed doesn't do that. And then guess what? 2 weeks later, that same nigga takes some edibles, starts seeing shit, losing his fucking mind, having all sorts of heart pains and everything, and has to go to the fucking hospital over it. And it's like, yeah, nigga, I warned you. And it's like, and then I noticed ties between that and like how, let's just say, the way I talk about like the time I had psychosis with edibles and why I don't do weed is kind of like, I don't know. I've noticed similarities in how people react, as if I say something like, oh yeah, my ex boyfriend was a rapist, or oh yeah, that was an abusive relationship. A lot of dismissal, a lot of disbelief, a lot of pain. I would have liked it if I didn't have to suffer in 2024 with my predatory ex boyfriend, Jared Varys. Jared Varys, I hope you kill yourself, and I will actually be happy when he executes it. If he got hit by a car, I would cheer. Like, I'm just saying, the only person I would ever feel bad for was his daughter, but even then, she deserves someone much nicer as a parent than him. He's a terrible man. And I'm terrible. He did what he did to me, and it fucked me up. It took a long time to unfuck me up. And then I tried hookups or dates, and those men tried to fuck me up, and I don't know. I don't know. It all just disturbed me. But maybe was put, if one wanted to get all woo woo about it, I could say, oh, what if it was putting me on a right path? Because if I didn't have my fucked up relationship with Jared, where he was raping and trying to force me into sex and being a predator, but if I also didn't have the drug psychosis that was indeed terrible and traumatic and awful, like, and notice the comparisons between how I felt experiencing those and the treatment I got before, after, during, if people believe that it happened or not, or if they make excuses. Simply put, I wouldn't have the really genius script idea that I have right now. And that's a good point. Doesn't mean I'm grateful for it though. And it causes me pain to think about, like, oh, but what if, but I don't know. Sometimes I like to think about like this though, so that I don't totally want to fucking kill myself to spite whatever higher power is out here giving me pain in the form of lessons, or just because they want to for character development later down the line. Sometimes I think to myself, like, okay, imagine this. Imagine if one day you were asleep and your brain was like, hey, I can give you two things. You can either have a very nice life, like a guaranteed nice life, like, a house in the suburbs, and like maybe a kid or two, and a husband who is like, and you don't get along super well with them, but it's your family. It's still a relatively quaint life, peaceful. You don't have to suffer much. But, or at least you will, but not in the ways you think. Or you could have a much, much better life. But there's gonna be some really fucked up, treacherous paths you'll take. Like, nothing like, I don't know, Cthulhu coming from the fucking sky and murdering you or whatever, but it'll be like, oh, look, you may have to deal with a fucked up relationship. You may have to have this fucked up body sensation happen to you. You may have to, like, go through, like, at least 10 to 20 different psychologically and physically harrowing things, but it will unlock, give you a path that shoots you to like stardom and wealth and fame and popularity and attention and fun. You just have to trust the process. No matter how hard it gets, you can't kill yourself. But you will have a life better than you could ever fucking dream, 10 times better. And you can have it all. Which would you take? And then what if in the dream I decided not to pick like some quaint life in a boring suburb with a fucking boring husband and ungrateful kids, and I decided to have a life of more? And then maybe that's why my life has gone the way it did. Like a choose your path story that I just simply forgot about, and now I'm living in it. Seems to be working out well for me. Like, I don't know, someone could say a lot of things about me. They could say the fact that I was horrifically abused and bullied as a kid led to me gaining sorts of wisdom that people who weren't didn't. Like, even a friend of mine online was saying, like, I think people, my friend of mine online, they were saying, I think people need to have ugly phases, otherwise they'll be one of those really attractive people who thinks that they're mortal and thinks that the world owes them something off the bat, and you'll do dumb shit like cave spelunking or skydiving or whatever because you've never been truly rejected for anything, so you'll just think you can do anything even when you absolutely should have the common sense not to. And yeah, that adds up. I do meet people who or have money and are attractive and stuff, and they do the dumbest shit. Like, that guy who is taking his son's blood in an IV, like a human blood bank, to try to make himself look beautiful and young forever and reverse the aging process? Like that guy. Or hell, the Nutty Buddy Cave uh situation. Like that stupid ass son literally was so full of pride and hubris. He got himself stuck in that cave despite his own dad being like, "Hey, I got stuck in this cave before and didn't survive." And then he went in the cave, almost did make it back out alive. And then his dumbass was like, "You know what? I know it took like fucking hella hours and a rescue team to get me out, but I'm gonna go there again." And then he went there again, and then they couldn't get him out. Like, and then so he just had to die down there, upside down, horrendously. Like, look up the Nutty Buddy Cave situation and see how this guy was like upside down Saddam Hussein, fucking like fucking couldn't bend his knees, couldn't anything, like could not get him out. To be fair, I think they should have just gotten his consent to break his fucking legs, or put in some sort of gas or whatever down there to knock his ass out. Or, like, if they would have just injected him with something to make him unconscious, broke his legs like fucking shit, and got him out, like, sure, live the rest of his life paralyzed, but he'd still be alive. Then again, I don't know. I keep meeting men who say that if they got paralyzed, they would kill themselves because men are stupid, selfish bastards. I have to tell them, really? You would miss out on like your daughter or son growing up, and like you can still have sex. I know paralyzed people who go to orgies and stuff. Like you could still live a life. Well, actually, no. I don't tell them the latter. They probably would have changed their opinion if I told them the latter. But most men, they're just like, no, my dick won't work, and I can't get up to pee or take a shit normally, and I can't enter like any restaurant or business ever again because there's no fucking steps for me. I would just kill myself if I were paralyzed. And I said, what if it, and even if I say, what if you needed just a little bit of physical therapy for like a few months or like a year or a few years? They're like, fuck no. It's like, nigga, you would refuse a year of working to get better and just be like, I'm gonna kill myself. But, men are stupid. So, that's how it is. But yeah, and also if you ever have thought, oh, if I'm paralyzed, I would kill myself. You can still be paralyzed and get play. Like one of my fucking, I know a buddy of mine. We're not super close anymore, but he has like a comb over, like receding hairline. He's paralyzed from the waist down, mostly, kind of, sort of confused. He's like, I don't know, he's in a wheelchair. That's all you need to know. And he has spinal issues, but guess what? He still gets fucked all the time. Really great sex. This man has gone to more orgies than I ever have in my fucking life. Good for him. But then again, is he happy? No. Okay. Which reminds me, I might want to check in on him soon. I haven't seen him around. Yeah, I stopped talking to him because he was really depressing. Which is my right, I kept trying to talk to him, but then simply put, yeah, also he was getting kind of creepy. And yeah, yeah. Well, okay, but I'll send him a message today. Anyway, the point is like, what is the point? What's the point of omens and angel numbers and signs and this and that? And what's the point of it? But I don't know. Like, if I wanted to take a positive spin on it, um, sometimes I've seen angel numbers for things and been like, I'll see like 888 111 222 endlessly, and I'll be like, oh, that's a sign that I should work on this like Christmas festival idea I have, just to go through all the outlets to achieve it and get rejected at every corner. But maybe it still needed to happen to prove that I had the ambition and the drive, because then it led to a domino effect of me being like, you know what, I'm gonna stop being friends with my buddy Seamus because he's always so arrogant and disrespectful, and I've been here the whole step of the way, but he hasn't been there for me, even when I've simply supported him. I want to start my own goals in the comedy scene, and then now I've met people who actually might want to start something with me, and I'm excited for it. So, maybe it's just putting me on a better path where it's like, you know what, actually, I would be great at throwing events and hosting events. Like, for example, for a rap battle, I was getting all sorts of signs to go do the rap battle, and it was worth a lot of money, so I thought, sure, I'll do the fucking rap battle because I'm seeing angel numbers and I'm getting signs to do it, and it's been building up, so maybe I needed to. And I did the rap battle, and I went up, had a fucking blast. One thing led to another. Like, how do I put this? Did I do good? Fuck no. Did people like me on stage regardless? Yeah. And it went so good that they told me at that event venue, they were like, here, you can get in for free at any time you want just because you did that. Like, free entry for the rest of your life. I was like, that's fucking awesome. Let's go. And I get a +1. Hell yeah. And, other things, like, I used to see this positively, but I thought to myself, like, I remember the first night I ever did stand up comedy, like at an open mic. I did it twice in one night. The first night was just because Seamus said, ooh, someone needs to get up and bomb or else I'm not performing. So I volunteered myself and bombed like hell. But you know what? It was fun. And then, and then, like, that I. And then, like, because I went up on stage and did comedy, a certain man in the audience was like, you know what? I thought this girl would be hard to talk to, but she actually seems very down to earth and approachable. And also she got on stage and said a joke about liking white boys. So, hell yeah. And then, lo and behold, me and him connected, and on one hand, he did help me out in terms of, smaller things I needed. Like, groceries at times, or this, and that. And he did treat me very well when he first started dating. That man was Jared. Fuck Jared. But at some point, it was still like, hey, I was a very desperate girl who needed a friend, and he was someone who had, money to spare, and he wanted a friend too, and things got romantic, one way or another. And sadly, it wasn't so easy for me to leave, not just for financial reasons. Even though he wasn't directly giving me money, he would still see me almost any time I want and give me food, which was important because And, you know, I was able to keep myself afloat until I got a new job because of him and stuff. But it still sucks because he was such a sexual predator that it fucking ruined my entire 2024. And that sucked because I didn't need him. I already got fucking traumatized by almost getting raped by my ex Morgan in 2023 and his sexually abusive behaviors. In fact, I've had so many sexually abusive behaviors in my life that it's like, bitch, why did you think I needed this man as a lesson? But whatever. I also got to meet his daughter, and his daughter was awesome, and other things. But I don't know. Shit's scary. I guess it's just, and you know, because I went up and did comedy that one time, I ended up making a bunch of friends in the comedy scene, and then next thing you know, I became sort of like a comedy scene socialite. I'd be popping up every single mic ever, and because of that, even tonight, like, I'm helping host an open mic. I'm gonna be doing the music and everything. And people love me, and they're showing up just because I'm gonna be there during the music, and that's fucking great. Oh, I don't know. Like, if I had to place bets on what my end game is gonna be, but I was gonna say this, and it ties to the what I said before. I don't know. Sometimes I hear about people's lives, and I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. Why you just fated to die? Like, I don't know. Some people have lives and dreams and goals, and it's like, why couldn't they have been allowed to live till the end to achieve those? Why? Like, is some higher power like, sure, we could have given this girl a nice, healthy life, but instead we're gonna kill her because you know what? It's gonna make like five really awesome poets, and you know what? She probably would have been a Nazi if we kept her alive anyway. So hey, you know what? Like, fuck it. Let's just kill her off early. And then all these other people will have such interesting grief, and like two of them are gonna be filmmakers. The others are gonna be like insanely famous novelists, and they're all gonna make amazing stories. I don't know. Like, do you ever think about that? I don't know. Sometimes I just get existential with the way I see life, and sometimes I need to stop doing that. Sometimes you'll catch me being as existential, like, what the fuck does it all mean? Why are we here? What's the point? Do we live just to die? Do we suffer? And what's the end game? What's the point? What's the earning? What's all of it? And then sometimes you'll just see me like, I don't know what the point of life is. I'm just living in the moment. I'm gonna pay a little bit too much for this fucking sushi on DoorDash, and I'm gonna take my vitamins and I'm gonna sit in the sun and not think anything at all and just be grateful to be alive and to have survived. I don't have to be grateful for any of the fucked up shit I went through, but and I don't want to say anything like, "Oh, it was necessary." So that then I could learn certain life lessons and grow as a person. Like, fuck that shit. It's like, I'm just saying that's unnecessary. Like if there was some higher power, it's like, nigga, you could have made this shit lit for all of us, but you went, hey, some people need to suffer and go through terrible, terrible, terrible things. But I don't know. I guess that's the reason we have like death metal and really fucked up games made by people from Finland. Because allegedly, the reason we have so many fucked up yet amazing video games and movies and books, especially in the horror genre from Finland, is because Finland winters would be so terrible that everyone just was extremely depressed and kind of homicidal and losing their mind all the time. Because it's like, if you're in a place where it's like nonstop snowstorms, you're gonna make some fucked up shit. Like, thank God they didn't just start killing people. I'm glad that they went, we're gonna utilize this as a creative outlet, and they did. Like, Jesus, some of these like Fear and Hunger and Lakeview Valley and okay, have to be a certain type of person for that. But you know what? Whatever. I don't know. If I had to take, if I had to place bets on what I think my end goal is, I think I knew what I wanted from a young age, and I think I don't know what I like. Do you believe in past lives? Because sometimes I think about that. Like, what if a past life? I don't know. Sometimes I think about shit, and I'm like, was I a really good person or a really bad person in my past life? Because some of the shit I've been through is just so obnoxiously horrible that it's like, god damn, bitch, was I like some sort of fucking insane dictator in a past life? Why is my love life, my home life, my family life, my school life, but like, why does it all suck? Like, damn. But then I don't know. I must have done something really good. Like, if it's a past life, it's like, okay, did I sacrifice myself or something for the sake of the country? So I did something terrible, but then I still like made a sacrifice that managed to follow me and bless me into this timeline. You know, some people believe in that shit, which would make sense. It's like I don't know what the fuck happened in the past life, but in this life, it's like, okay, we're gonna make this girl like, you know, she's gonna still have to have a really rough puberty to get there, but she's gonna have like a full thick head of hair, beautiful ass skin complexion, beautiful like color range, skin tone, everything. She's gonna have like the most perfect little cupid's bow lips with the cute little sly little cat little face. She's gonna have like the most banging fucking Jane Mansfield body at like, or like fucking Megan the Stallion sometimes when she eats her protein and does some exercise and walks. And she's gonna, like, she could even be Jane Fonda at her skinniest. She's gonna be a bad bitch in every single way, shape, and form. Sexy ass motherfucker. And she is gonna be tall and gorgeous and socialized and all this and be a magnet to all. So she's gonna be a magnet to like fucking all the sexiest like men who eat pussy for their own pleasure and have tech money and all of that. She's gonna be a magnet to them. But we need to even the scales. So all of those will end terribly, you know? Like, and she will have to suffer in isolation a lot, and she can never truly keep her bedroom clean. But you know what? Slay. I don't know. It's like they had to even some shit out. They said, make her hair kind of tangled and all that. I don't know. They had to tip the scales one way or another. They had to find a way where it's like, I can't just be overpowered in this lifetime. I still kind of am, but it's like, there's enough going on that's like healthy drawbacks. Ooh, look at that. Ah, that hurt! Oh! That hurt way more. This thing weighs a lot. Like, if you picked it up, you'd be like, this has some heft to it. I don't know what to compare this weight wise to, but it feels just like how it would be if you picked up a heavy rock at the beach. I don't know why that just happened, but for all I know, maybe some higher power is like, Tamia needed to drop a rock on her forehead so she would get dizzy spells that would make, and then her real friends would reach out and see how she's doing, and her fake friends won't care, and she will, like, I don't know, and she will be put on a better path, or hey, she's gonna faint and have trippy dreams that will give her fucking cool ass ideas for her script. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming at this point. Sometimes you don't just want to be like, maybe I dropped a heavy rock on my forehead just because life be like that sometimes. Sometimes you have oily fingers from your hair and a slippery rock in your hand and you annihilate yourself. Oh, I feel really lightheaded after that. That shit was heavy. God damn. But anyway, yeah. I don't, like, I don't know, but if I had to place bets, it's like, I get the feeling it's like, okay, if I want to make films, I'm gonna need to like network with people and have the right connections and the right looks and everything, and I'm gonna need money to do so. And if I want to have a perfect, lovely life, then I'm gonna have to like experience certain things and live through certain things. And like, it's like, okay, think about it. Like, there's famous courtesans of our time who became the most like noteworthy courtesans in the world in like France and Spain and all these other countries, and they did so, but they had a life of suffering. I remember one story of this woman specifically. She's my favorite courtesan, and I think, was it Madame Pompadour or Madame du Barry? I think it was Madame Pompadour, but or something like that. I forget, but it was this woman. You know, when she was a young girl, she suffered through like jealousy of her stepmother and abuse and so much, and she eventually was kicked out the house. And then she tried to get odd jobs and work and go to school, but it sadly, like, a man still like, but I don't think he drugged her drink, but I think he got her drunk. And then he basically like dragged her to his hotel and raped her when she was unconscious. And then I guess because of that incident, like, she explained that she didn't feel like hurt or sad. She just felt repulsed, especially by the man, because that happened. But one thing led to another, and I guess she was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm an extremely gorgeous girl living in a fucked up city. I ain't got no cherry. So let me go ahead and just like live a much, like, let me just go out. And she found herself a pimp, and the pimp was like, you are way too gorgeous. I know exactly how to brand you and what to do to get you. And then lo and behold, he presented her to the king. And that next thing you know, she was like one of the most like finest, beautiful kept women ever, and she had like this amazing fucking life. She had to suffer a lot to get there, but lo and behold, her life very much became a lot of like, if she could be either controlling every single political faction out there and turning them against each other using her feminine wiles and charms, or she could be just like how do I put this? When you are a courtesan in a high power position like that, you could be the next Michelle Obama, or you could be Paris Hilton. You can either change the world as you know it for years to come, or you can just simply be a sexy bad bitch, who's just like super fucking cute and cares nothing but about gemstones and pretty things, and that's totally fine. And I guess I want that sort of power in life, so I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's an alternate timeline where let's just say, maybe it's good that certain things happen to me to like make me bond with people, make me learn about why certain people shouldn't be bonded with, make me trust others, learn why others shouldn't be trusted, and like a whole bunch of life lessons and more to like really help me get things together so that then I actually know what to do. I don't know. I'm learning a lot about myself and it's changing every day. Like, for example, I'm usually a gold person. Now I'm getting more into silver, which is extremely unlike me. But I guess, I'm also getting into sparkly gemstones and I'm learning, like, oh, if I want sparkly gemstones, they're gonna look ugly as fuck set in gold. Like, because gold does look a little bit tacky and sometimes it's a little too yellow. And I am, like, I can work silver, so let me use silver if I want the most sparkle. Like, I'm more of a warm tone, but I can also rock silver. And I look good in it because I got the best of both worlds in my genetics. Because, I don't know, I got blessed. Like, I think it's actually really obscene how I got blessed. It's like, Jesus Christ. I really think God just went, yeah, she's way too fucking hot. Like, she has green and blue veins, so she can wear both. She has, like, she can rock any look, any lipstick, anything. She can get anything she wants. We need to make her life kind of hell, or else she's gonna be like a fucked up politician or dictator in this lifetime, and we can't have that. And I don't know, it would have been nice if God could have eased up on some of the pains I went through, because some of the shit just made me worse in the brain, not better, but it's okay. Because it's like, you know what? I lived through it, I've gotten through it, everything's going back to normal. I have wonderful scripts and wonderful things in my belt. I'm starting to forget that I even had a thing with hay because things with German dude are going just so nice. And one day, and I'm already on track to a much better life. Like everything, I don't want to say everything happened for a reason, but maybe it did. Maybe it did. Maybe I'm finally getting comfort and solace in that because it's like even last night, I was able to afford some very beautiful, expensive jewelry that is going to be the most shiny, gorgeous shit ever. And once a man sees me with that, he would be, and I make it clear, it's like moist night's my favorite fucking thing. He can't give me cubic zirconia to impress me anymore. Trust me. The last person who did that was like, hey, and even then it had to be like extremely high quality cubic zirconia. Like the shit I got, you would mistake as fucking diamond. Like really, really gorgeous shit. I'm just saying. But as I go through life and rediscover myself in 1,000 different ways and find out new things about myself, what I tolerate, what I don't, what I care about, what I don't, like there's probably some alternate timeline where if life truly did go the way I wanted to, I would have hated women. I would have been some like a Candace Owens ass bitch who straightens her hair or something like that, or actually no, in my ideal reality I would have had my hair as an afro, but still, like I can still, like, let's say if life went the way I wanted to at 12, I would be some Candace Owens ass bitch, like slut shaming and saying fucked up things about like killing babies or whatever, and not really that dedicated in my artwork and not really this or that. Or maybe I would be, maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. But all I know is in this lifetime, even as I look around me, it's like, okay, I'm not in some marvelous, sparkling marble studio apartment, at least not yet. But you know what? I feel comfy. I have a nice, beautiful, relatively beautiful bedroom, everything considered. I feel relatively good, and I'm gonna get everything I want. And I went through certain things in life that taught me, like, oh, this is why rape is bad. This is why some women dress sexy. Oh, cleavage isn't the end of the world, actually. Oh, you know what? Maybe women don't dress for male attention. And this, and like so many things that I got to learn. Like, terrible, terrible things, but truly, so many things. I hate that I had to go through them, but I'll put it this way. If it truly does, at the end of the day, if I make it through all this and live, and it becomes a life that I desire, or something way better than I could ever imagine, then I suppose we will do what we do. Like, think about it. Maya Angelou, if I recall, she was sexually assaulted when she was a child. I'm not gonna say something fucked up like, ooh, God needed that to happen. Because fuck no, I don't believe in saying things like that. I feel disgusting even saying that in mockery of people who say terrible things like that. Like, I think people who say things like that need to die, honestly. But I will say that it's like, sometimes people are really good at making lemonade out of lemons. So she went through a lot of traumatized stuff, and with like her culture, her life, all that. But she still managed to make it to the other side okay as a very talented and like respected artist for her words, her poetry, that people still reference it all the time. It's beautiful. Anyway, I should wrap up this video soon. I guess, I don't know. It's very interesting. I think 12-year-old me, I think I would be shocked at my life quality for good reasons and probably not so good reasons, but frankly, I would still be proud of myself to an extent. Like, oh wow, you get good treatment from men? Sometimes. Oh, you get to try these places and do these things and meet these people? And wow, that sounds amazing. Young me would be proud of me. Amen. Bye.